Hello everyone. Still fucking hot. I don't know why. The weather says it's gone down to 20 degrees. It is still fucking hot. I'm still sweating. I hate it. It's gross. Fucking sun. Fucking summer. Fucking England. Fucking lack of AC. Fucking houses all being fucking ovens. Ugh. Hate it. Really hate it. There. Welcome to Sherlock Holmes, though. Let's get all that sourness out of the way and done. I've literally not done anything since the end of the last stream, just tried to stay cool. Really hasn't done much. Oh yeah, one thing I did do though, I finally caved in and I got PS Plus Premium subscription. So yeah. My stream queue has just increased by around about 80 games. That's fun. So in fairness though, from having looked at stuff that's on this list plus what's on on the stream queue already, there are some duplicates. Like there are PC games on the stream queue that I now have access to thanks to PS Plus Premium. So it's not quite an additional 80 games, but it's a lot. The main thing that pushed me to get it was Stray came out today, which, if you don't know what Stray is the game where you play a cat in a cyberpunk world, and you have a dedicated meow button. And ever since I saw it, I was like, I want this. I want this. And I looked at it, it's like, how much is it? It's £25. It's like, not bad considering it's an indie game. Or included with PS Plus Extra for free. I was like, well, guess I'm gonna have to get that then, I know. So I did. I paid £2.60 to cover me for the rest of the month, and then at the end of the month it's going to charge me the full £13. Was it £13.50 or was it £14.50? I'm now starting to think it's only the £13.50. That's the figure I realised. Well, I don't know. Brain melt there. I also must be having some kind of weird brain amaze at the moment. My brain seems to be so much wanting something to play that's different and new that I wanted to download Fallout 76 of all things. I do not know why, because it's shit. It's really shit, as we have seen, and I tried to go back to it on my own off stream to see, maybe if I could do it. No, I still can't. The game just bores me. I have not had a game that is as boring as Fallout 76 is in a long time. It's just, I don't know. I do not know what they were thinking. Like, in fact, when they first announced Fallout 76, I took one look at the announcement poster and then that's going to be shit. Look, lo and behold, it turned out to be shit. And everyone was going, oh no, it's going to be amazing. Can't you imagine playing Fallout multiplayer? I was like, yeah, they tried it once before with Fallout Tactics. It was shit. Fallout is not meant to be a multiplayer experience. Certainly not meant to be an adversarial multiplayer experience. It just isn't. It doesn't work. It's like Skyrim multiplayer. Yes, they've got mods to do it. Yes, there's a way to do it co-op. It's not the point. It's really not the point. Yeah. Yeah. And I actually did try to start downloading Fallout 76. It was like, you don't have enough room on your hard drive. Like, how much more do I need? 105 gigabytes. Yeah, that ain't happening. I mean, in fairness, once I get done with Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which literally I am 3 trophies away from being done with, I can then delete that and sell it, and that is 170 gigabytes freed up. fucking ridiculous, the disc version of that. And it's all because of Warzone. All that massive chunk of storage is Call of Duty Warzone. It's not Modern Warfare. But if you have Modern Warfare installed, you have Warzone installed. Because they want to cramp that down as many people's throats as possible. I'm just playing a Call of Duty game. And it's semi-fun, and it is exactly what I want from a Call of Duty game. I can play it, I can load it up, I can switch my brain off, and I can just play it. Especially since I got the hardest achievement, hardest trophy in the game. Well, actually no, I think it would be the hardest one. Because the other three I've got is I've got to finish the level. I've got to finish a certain level without being hit by the sniper, which is fairly easy to do. I just didn't manage to do my veteran one because I think I took one shot from him because luck. Well, bad luck. The one I'm not looking forward to is doing a certain mission where you are chasing someone actively, so you have a time limit, otherwise they'll get away. And during that mission, you need to kill 8 different people with 8 different weapons. That's going to be a fucker. Not difficult, just annoying. So I've got that one too. And then I've got, in a certain mission, kill all enemies in 3 areas without being seen. It's not going to be that one's not going to be that difficult. That just needs to be thorough. And it's a night mission anyway, so you're not supposed to get seen during those. It'll be fine. Yeah. So yeah, but no, we're on to Sherlock Holmes. I'm going to see what things are like tomorrow, temperature-wise. If they're good, I might do a stream of Stray in the daytime slot that I usually have. If not, I will replace Bioshock 2 with it, because I really want to play Stray. I really want to see what it's like. I want to show it off. I want to show it on stream. So it might replace Bioshock for just one day, being tomorrow evening. And, we'll see what being a cat in a cyberpunk world is. And with dedicated meow button. I will not let this go that there is a dedicated meow button. Just press the touchpad. Meow. Love it. So yeah. The 24-hour stream is going to be happening. Well, the challenge is going to be completed soon. We're under 9,000 points away from it being finished. What I am going to be doing afterwards is, thanks to the poll I put up on Discord, I can see where people's interest is mostly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a Google Forms or a poll or whatever it's called officially. But I'm going to basically create a voting form on Google and put it in the server, and people can go through that and tick all the games that they want to see, and then I'll be able to. Then I'll try and portion out how long each game can get, how much attention I can give it, and all that kind of stuff. Also give me an idea of what I need to install. Because with my hard drive, it probably is going to mean that in preparation for the 24-hour stream, I need to essentially delete all games from my hard drive that I'm currently streaming, and just install the games that are going to be streamed on that. Because a lot of people do seem to want to see games that are on the stream queue. So that massive list, which has just grown by 80, that massive list, and so that. Well, holy shit. But yeah, so plans are being made for the 24-hour stream challenge. There are going to be some additional interactables with it, sort of. Obviously, I'm going to plan it for a day where I'm not at risk of dying from heat and exhaustion. And yeah, let's see. We'll see. I'll plan it so that it doesn't interfere with anything, or interferes with things as little as possible, and is not going to be on a day where I'm going to be at risk of overheating. So yeah, that's what's going to be planned. But for tonight, we're on to Sherlock. We are Me getting distracted by a spider on the wall that I can't reach to splat. You're lucky, you fucker. Ugh. These things. Yeah. So on to Sherlock. Oh yeah, we've gone to that masquerade party thing where Werner Vogel, aka Moriarty, is persuading us to try and, let loose. And, I wonder if that solution is how Sherlock's opium habit started. I wonder if that's where this is going. That'll be an interesting thing to see that doesn't get referenced all that much in media, is, Sherlock's opium addiction. Or at least not much in the media that I've seen of Sherlock. I think the closest I've seen is Benedict Cumberbatch series of, nicotine patches. Like, can see where you're going with that, but at the same time, nah, it doesn't quite work. Not quite. But yeah, so we're going to jump into that. But first, I've just noticed that my trophy progress in this game is 47%. But that's actually including the DLC. So let's have a look quickly at what my gameplay one is like. Oh no, there's no DLC trophies. Okay. So it is just 47%. Just 47% of the trophies. Well, we may be getting close to the end of the game, sadly. But like I've said, I will be doing at the very least all the storyline missions here and also the 2 DLC packs that I have. Or is it 3? I can't remember, it's 2 or 3, but I have all the DLC for this. I will be playing through it on stream as well, so this is not going to be over soon. So yeah, let's catch up with some chat and jump in. Hello, welcome TJ. Screaming. Mood. Also first. Yep. I was rubbing my eye and starting chat. What on earth? What's going on? Asami, hello and welcome, and thank you for the raid. Very much appreciated. Welcome, raiders. I've just started my my catching up of chat and introducing the stream. My name is Malkaya. I'm a variety streamer. I'm a dragon, and you're all welcome here. I'm about to be playing Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1, which is a wonderful investigative game. And as I don't think any of my mods are here, I will pop the shout outs in myself. Get you a shout out, Asami, and hope that actually went through. But yes, I also encourage everyone to go and check Asami out. She's a wonderful person. Always up to all kinds of shenanigans, usually with Fate stuff, and streams for way longer than I could even feasibly imagine doing so on a regular basis. The woman has got stamina coming out of the wazoo. No idea how she does it. I certainly couldn't. So yeah, thank you very much for that. And also, whilst I'm on the shout out bit, thank you very much, Callie, for the 23-month resub. Jesus, that's insane to think that I've got subscribed. That it's possible to be subscribed to me for that long. 1 month to 2 years. Yeah, it's weird though, because the 2-year subscription will be in August, but I didn't start being an affiliate until the beginning of September. But you're paying a month forward because Twitch. It makes no sense, but also at the same time, it does make sense. Twitch in a nutshell. Alright, back to the chat catching up. Hello, welcome, Callie. Thank you for the hydration reminder. I had already taken a hydration, but I am not going to deny another one on this hate. Drink the water, combat the heat. I have been trying. Honestly, I actually drink more in streams than I do out of streams, because when I'm out of streams, I just hyper-focus on a game and what's going on in Discord, and I just forget everything else. Because you're not cool. Yes, yeah, the heat's also the reason we have Springs days. Yeah, I don't like the sound of Springs, because everything I hear about Springs is hot springs. Like, no thanks. I'd really rather not have a hot spring on a hot day. 72 isn't so cool unless it's 100 outside. Sounds like what's happening around here. Only it's probably 100. It's probably the equivalent of 100 outside and 120 inside. Hey, hello and welcome. AC for the win. Damn, you're lucky. Your AC is half broken. Then cling to the side that's not broken. Oh. It's going 25 degrees cooler in my home than outside. What I wouldn't give. One would give to be in a place that actually has either air conditioning or is built to keep the house cool. Or both. Preferably both. Still affecting my ability to speak, apparently. Thank you, E, for the contribution to 24-hour stream challenge. We'll give you the link, E and Jack. Awesome. Thank you very much for that, DJ. Oh, it's cocaine. Why did I always think it was opiates? Why did I always think that it was opiates? I don't know why. Hello, welcome to the chat, Answer Me. I'm glad to catch you when you're starting stream. Yes, I also ranted for a little bit. Because I tend to get a little bit ranty. Actually, no, it wasn't so much ranty. Well, no, it was a tiny bit of a rant. But I was also talking about future plans. I think I've been subscribed longer than 2 years, something close to 5. To me personally, Callie, yes. Strangely. Actually. Hang on a second. Hang on a shiny second. That's not it. Where's... I can't remember. I can't find where anything is on this phone. Calendar. There we are. Why do you do like that? Why have... It's erased a load of my... It's erased a load of my stuff from my calendar. Oh, great. So now I... Right, I was going to say when actually is our 5-year anniversary, because it's very soon, or is today, I don't know, one or the other, but my phone has gone and erased my entire calendar. Great. Another reason to hate that bloomin' phone. So hydrate this, he is no drug. Yeah, very true. 7% solution of cocaine. I mean, in fairness, Callie, you know, it's most likely a detail that's written down in the books because the only media I've seen is adaptations, and you know, not always to be trusted. July 28th. That's our anniversary. Different thing is the 20th. Oh, I know what one this is. Are you comfortable with me saying, Callie, or would you like me to keep it secret? Because I will shout it out right now. But if you don't want me to, I will not say a word. Sure. Happy birthday, Callie. I mean, technically, it is actually your birthday now. Happy birthday, my love. I sincerely hope this is the last birthday of yours that we're spending apart. Because if something happens to cause there to be another year's delay on this whole thing, I might actually strangle someone. Might actually strangle someone. Or several people. For reference is why I'm so pissed off about this. My plans on moving to the USA were supposed to happen when the pandemic hit. It's been a fucking while. So yeah, for us over in the UK, it is now Callie's birthday. It's the 20th. So for Callie, it's not her birthday yet. For us, it is. So, you know, have dual celebrations. Love you too, Callie. Oh no, yeah. Yeah, the timing of that could not have been worse. I suppose 2 years ago. Yep. 2 years ago, I was supposed to be in the US. That's when all the plans were being made. And when COVID started first coming around, we were watching everything very, very closely. And then despairing as we saw everything declining. So yeah, that's been fun. But now that is chat caught up with, it's time to go over and go, whee! Get here. Continuing. I've got a lot of notes I'll give myself for after stream. Excuse me. I honestly thought that it would have kept me inside the building, not just sent me to the nearest fast travel plane. Wow, this is awkward. I present for my heart 27 months before we're able to see each other in person. Yeah. If that works out soon for you guys, thank you, ask me. Things are being put into motion, so hopefully, by September this year, I will be over there. It's the hope. Plan. I think the only thing that I've got left to do, which will determine time frames, is I'm waiting on a letter from my doctor for an appointment. Based on when they can give me an appointment for something I'm wanting done, will determine when I can actually do these things. So, yeah. Right. So where am I supposed to be going? Oh, it's not too far away. It's fine. It's fine. I'll just go through a public park dressed like this.
You'll see all day. Hamlet staged by children.
I'm not paying attention to that, John. So to go through a public park. Excuse me. I left my watch in the park. Sorry, I'll just be returning.
Welcome, sir. I do hope you enjoy yourself.
Oh, that's creepy. Right, so casebook. Oh, I got another. That's a side quest. Right, so we have that. Okay, so I need to go to the altar room to talk to Fabio, but first I want to try and find the stuff for John to...
Enjoy the event, sir.
Let's find an interesting scoop on the local elite. Oh my word, John, really? Hope you enjoy yourself. Also, how did you get outside? Game teleported me there.
Ranchos had to enforce the masks after the scandal.
And have the identically descriptions now. Sinifar, hello and welcome. Sorry late to the raid. Oh, don't worry about it. You are welcome to be here. Do you pour to attend? No. Offend the Duchess, yes. Someone was sick, yeah. Too loud, Mars. Cheating groom. Oh. Wise priest. But ah. I always feel like those ones are mostly guesswork.
Ranchos had to enforce them.
Disclosure scandal. So, fired after incident. Ah, there we go. Nope. 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 Yep. Nope. Yep. Oh, no. No. What? Oh, I missed one. I must have I discarded a thought that was actually present to it. Oh, well. Nope. Nope. Yes. Nope. Nope. Yes. Ah, fired after the incident. Right, okay.
I'm guessing you didn't get what you were after. I always wanted to
Ranchos had to enforce the masks after.
Xenophile, thank you very much for the follow. Scared me a bit. Teeny bit. Tiny bit. Ah, there we go. game that's interesting. It really is. It is basically set before Sherlock Holmes became the mastermind consulting detective that he is known as in the books and in all the other media. So it's basically Sherlock's origin story in a way. And it's very well done, very well written. Yellow Press. People describe a scandal from a previous party. Vice Governor Cowden was found by his wife to be a Prussian duchess in the company of young men. Although the marriage was intended to be a political one, the emotions of the duchess were real. The incident instigated a political crisis between Cordona and Prussia. Although there were only a few notes to protest, the governor fired his protege.
I'll pin them down, Biscoop. Thank you, Sherlock.
Rumour has it. Lift the curtain on Bohemian life. Oh my. Gothic, hello and welcome. Haven't seen you in a minute. How's life, man? Too hot. Way too hot. Aside from that, though, good. How about yourself, my friend? Okay, so... this one. That. It's been entirely too warm here. So I'm thinking now that this is the way to the altar room. Heat has got to go. It really does. Oh. I was about to say, I get the feeling I'm going to be going to some sort of cult, but I think I should have said that a few doors ago. Oh.
My God. Was he here this whole time?
Just once, one time. I would love to go somewhere and there not be a corpse waiting for me. Just once. Feel this one pass of my town is just unbearable. Yeah. Ugh. Victim description. A young man with a ceremonial knife stuck in his chest that lies on ritual stone in the altar room. It's Fabio.
A blunt force trauma may have suffered an internal hemorrhage.
Tattoo covers a mark. Slave
This
branding.
tattoo partially covers as slave branding.
Ooh.
This golden handle has a bloodstain on it. The dagger is heavy and sharp, but lacks balance. This worm-like sigil has been drawn with his own blood.
Naughty Fabio.
The wound is deep. A precise strike reached the heart.
I'm sorry, but the curve of that bulge... I'm sorry, what? Thanks, game. I didn't want to see that, but now I can't stop thinking about it. It's the worm. Oh my word, it is. Fabio's been killed by black spiral dancers.
The victim has clenched the fabric so firmly in his fist that it's nigh impossible to remove it. He died right here.
Thanks, Callie. You've now made me really want to play Werewolf the Apocalypse all over again. So, Mind Palace. Circumstances of Fabio's death. Fabio has a golden ritual dagger in his chest, a sigil on his stomach, and symbols on the walls drawn in blood. Do I get into the heart was the cause of his death? Yes. Fabio was killed in a ritual murder. Was sacrificed on an altar during a cult ritual. John, what are you doing?
These crime scenes always outdo my imagination.
You don't have an imagination, John. You're a trauma response.
This elaborate box must be for the ritual dagger. The herbs here are Salvia divinorum. They have a slight hallucinogenic effect to emphasize the ceremony.
Oh.
The ointment smells mouse-like. I presume it is an aphrodisiac prepared from a Spanish fly.
Oh.
This oil has a slight aroma of flowers and olive.
Where did you come from, Werner? John has an excuse. He's imaginary, but you're not. Your trauma response describes so much in my life. Mood.
This one looks like a twisted symbol of Venus, drawn in a hurry.
Yeah, I can understand why you'd be drawing stuff on the wall in blood in a hurry. The blood will dry pretty quickly, and you'll run out. It's kind of practical.
The sign reminds me of the astrological symbol for Mars.
Oh, I see why. Yeah, they now use symbols for cis male and cis female. Right. Of course, Mars and Venus. Right. Yeah. Okay. I see why. I never knew why those symbols were used. Now I do. Don't want to talk to Werner Vogel yet. Oh.
Similar to the guests' robes, apart from the bloodstains.
Let me guess. Yeah, a convenient number of replacements. Wet handprint.
Identical to the robes the guests are wearing. The pitcher is empty, but with puddles around it.
It's been used. Ah.
Blood clots are adhered to the sides of the drain. This is a different ritual.
I found a scenario of some sort of ritual with a remark written at the beginning. It says, read and rehearse this rite. Mantios. The naked woman lies on the altar on a bed of flowers, symbolizing Mother Gaia. The one who leads the ritual oils the body of the woman to awaken her inner fertility. Participants should chant at this moment and call for the man who can please Mother Gaia. Then the man who will impersonate the principle of life may come to engage in sexual congress with her. Lovely. Manchio's Nest. Don't ignore the guests, Mestiza, and stop boring them. They don't want to hear about your stupidities. They want to feel how beautiful they are and how generous you can be towards them. You are here to please and celebrate life. Remember, each guest paid a great deal to be with you. Manchios.
How can anyone accept such behavior?
A useful tool for a disguise arsenal.
Arse.
Handcrafted and luxurious cufflinks. There's also a note. For my Fabio, Manchos.
Would you recognize me in one of these? I suppose not.
God damn it, John. I'm going to put you in the ice cream outfit at this rate. I'm not joking. Ah, key. You have any sex bots following you on Twitter? Yeah, I suppose Jack's the only sex bot you need.
The key is similar to the one that Vogel gave me. The capital F on the key fob might refer to Fabio.
Right, you know what, John? For those remarks... Oh! Why can't let me change what John's wearing? Maybe his key's still on the performance table. But no, it's not linked to his death. Well. Oh. Yeah.
Props, decorations, and tools for a more detailed set.
Okay, John, what are you doing in this room? Not what I thought you'd be doing. I thought you'd be lounging on something. Stained in blood.
The wound spoiled the carpet.
So more than likely he was smacked over the head. And then taken onto the ritual table.
A sturdy bottle met a not-so-sturdy human. It didn't break only because it was unopened.
Some of Sherlock's lines in this are absolutely golden. Real, I'm a real human, let's fuck you by clicking the link, says all is real. Wow. Yeah.
Why don't people tidy up after themselves? Enough cigars to burn down the entire mansion.
And one's still, you know, smoking. There's a lot less in this area than I thought there'd be. But some key evidence, like, you know, the clear indication that he was smacked over the head here before being taken to the table and stuck with something very sharp in a very non-fun way. Really, John? What have you got to say for yourself?
Don't be jealous, Sherlock.
This is John. It looks like the only thing we've got left to do is talk to Werner. There's a lot of stuff here. There's testimony. Smoking lounge, right room, gas, droplets of burning wines. Oh. Oh, there's something else in there apparently. Ah. Oh. Oh. Okay. Bloody handprint.
A person leaned against the doorframe. They left a smudged trail of blood.
But why would they be leaning this way? Because that's the only way you'd get a right hand there, unless you're like stumbling like that or coming at it like this. Oh, there's more blood down there.
A bloody handprint on an armchair.
Well, there's just blood everywhere here, isn't there?
The wounded person was here for some time. There appear to be no further traces leading to the altar.
Well. So I do need to talk to Vogel now. Buddy, I used to get those as well. Just stopped. I guess it's unworthy getting scammed to the people following me to the boss. Let's not do that. Oh no, I've never had anything like that. Then again, my activity on Twitter is pretty much zero. What have you got to say for yourself, Vogel? AKA, like I keep saying, I'm very certain this is Moriarty.
Werner, care to explain what is going on here?
On nights like these, it's not unusual for some attendees to get a little exuberant. It's part of the appeal. Unfortunately, it appears things have
Exuberant?
gotten
He's
out of hand.
dead.
Yes, some are more prone to bend the rules of morality.
That's murder. I doubt there's anything left to bend. Why did you not tell me immediately? We were chatting about trivial matters for some time.
If I'm completely honest, Sherlock, I've consumed a rather potent cocktail of substances. My attention slips and drifts.
At
But I'm
least
glad
he's
I took a
honest.
call for you.
You sent me a disguise.
Oh dear, did I? Well, since I found the body, Mr. Manchios has agreed that you can investigate the matter. I promise my mind will behave itself going forward.
All right. Pull yourself together, Werner.
About nights like these.
What is it about these nights that you were so eager to share with me?
Well, they're not always in the evenings, but they are in the shadows. People gather to test their boundaries in a safe and consensual atmosphere, often with more stains than your typical crime scene.
Aww.
Who are we to judge?
I suppose that's fair. What about today, then? Was anything different?
Well, I was invited as a special guest. It was supposed to be a time of both divine and carnal pleasures. A scratch for every unconventional itch.
I imagine you're reeling from your shattered expectations.
On the contrary, there is still spectacle, stimulation, and release, merely in a different form. I like to let life entertain me.
Or death. Mr. Manchios is the owner of the manor, yes?
And the host of Cordona's most memorable parties. He promises even the ugliest guest a partner for the night. And for the ones with more unconventional tastes, Mr. Manchios provides other services.
What a caring person.
You cannot begin to imagine.
How did you discover the body? In between guzzles of alcohol?
I was set to perform in a fecundity rite with Fabio and came to inquire further. It was a staged ritual where he was to play the principle of life.
And the rehearsal was unsuccessful?
Huh. Who knows? I found him alone on the altar, his blood dripping to the floor.
And then?
Then I called Mr. Manchios. He was panicking, so I told him about you. We left the room and locked the door. Then we were
Filling time?
waiting for you was stressful. We indulged in some simple comforts. Overindulged, perhaps.
I'm already starting to think that Mr. Manchios and Fabio were lovers, and because Fabio was chosen to, in this ritual, be the one who has sex with the mother of Gaia, Mr. Manchios got a bit on the jealous side and said, no one can have my Fabio but me, and then things got out of hand. It's probably not going to be that simple, but I think that's around about the way it's going to go. We shall see.
Were you well acquainted with Fabio, the victim?
Everyone knew Fabio, or wanted to. His beauty was the talk of the island. Too handsome to go unnoticed. He was magnetic. Fat wallets fought for the privilege of having him. He offered the pleasures of performance, and more.
What about the fertility ritual? There was something about Fabio being a principle of life.
Fabio was supposed to portray the
And you can
beauty
just
of
see
Mass
every so
origin.
often in the background John just sound like,
Oil. Not this travesty that seems straight out of the Inquisition.
So this ritual is not the fertility rite. What was it meant to look like?
It begins with a woman lying naked in a flower bed on the altar. She represents Gaia, the earth. As I cover her in oils, we chant for the principle. As our calls reach a climax, Fabio enters and copulates with her. After he finishes, I stab her with a dagger. That part's just pretend, of course.
But the intercourse is not?
I did not expect you to be such a prude. Are you a virgin? It is nothing to be ashamed of, but it would explain the color of your cheeks.
how can you tell I'm wearing a mask?
Festivities. The principle of
I'm
life
wearing a
is
mask. How on earth can you tell the colour of my cheeks?
It must not be stopped.
Yet it appears that someone did stop it. What about the naked woman? Can you tell me anything about her?
Oh yes, Matista. She's one of Fabio's compatriots and a performer too. I haven't seen her today, actually.
When you discovered the body, was the door open?
No, it was locked. Oh, that reminds me. It's a minor detail, but the first time I came to speak to Fabio, I left without entering, having been unable to open the door.
You didn't have the key?
No, I had it. Don't look at me like that. I was mostly sober. I suspect there was a key in the other side of the door, blocking the lock.
I was
That
mostly
detail may very
sober.
well be major, Werner. Well done. So you returned later, only to find the lock was not blocked.
Correct. After an hour had passed, I tried again and was able to unlock the door. That's when I discovered poor, handsome Fabio.
So the key that is on Fabio's dresser table over there was used to block the door.
The police remain unaware of this tragic event?
Some of them may be hiding behind their masks. They conceal many things. But we didn't want the authorities to create more problems. Besides, after a few cocktails, their incompetence will have soared to new heights.
How do you know I even want the case?
I promised you relaxation. If there's one thing I know about you, Sherlock, it's that nothing soothes you more than a good mystery.
So, Sherry, do you have any ideas about the case?
Perhaps, perhaps. I think I can deduce what happened here.
In there, but... Okay, so, recreation time. Oh, God. Vernon's just going to see me kneeling down there. He's not going to see me just lay down. He's going to, time for a nap. Yes, I'm sure that's exactly what happened. He was laying down there, bonk. There's no ligature marks on his neck, or even bruising. So yeah, that's definitely that one. Oh, there's a few. Oh, there's a few of these things. Right. Or... Fabio. So it's either Fabio or the unknown who's been doing it. 28 bonks. Who needs your 28 stab wounds? We've got 28 bonks. Well, it was Fabio's key. So I'd say, okay, yeah, let's leave it with the possibility that Fabio locked the door himself. Yeah. That is a left hand print there, so that's probably more what happened. Yeah. Yeah, that's the wrong hand there. That, on the other hand, it's perfectly it. Bonk. Yeah, the bonk definitely happened. I don't know why that whole image of being clocked over the head with an unopened champagne bottle is so funny to me, but it just is. Why? I don't think it's Fabio's. Yeah, it makes sense that the guy who did the killing is the one who dumped the robes that would have been bloodstained. Actually... Okay, so I'm fairly confident on all these details, apart from one. So it's very much definitely... Bonk. Starts dragging because left hand on there. Take that through. Takes him onto there. does the stabby stab, then goes through there and changes and washes up. What I'm not sure on is whether it was Fabio who locked this or whether it was someone else. It makes sense for Fabio to have locked this because he may have thought he was in somewhere here with someone trusted because it was Fabio's key that was used to do this. So let's try that. Let's try seeing if it was Fabio.
Not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
Okay, fine then. So it was the unknown person who used Fabio's key to block the lock.
The bottle was used as a weapon during a scuffle in the smoking lounge. Then, to ensure no one would interrupt, the murderer locked the door.
Ah.
The unconscious body of the victim was moved to the altar room. Once the body was on the altar, the murderer thrust the dagger into the victim's heart. Symbols were drawn with the blood. The wardrobe was used to hide the bloodied robe from anyone's eyes. The killer washed himself and took a clean robe from the hanger before leaving.
Are you all right? You're on the floor, not moving.
I think I know what happened here.
Oh yeah, because Werner's never actually seen that. So, Fabio's key remains untouched. Murder clean themselves. Unlocked and then unlocked. The murderer was in possession of a key to the altar room and locked the door. That's Fabio's assault in the nearby room. Oh, okay, so I've got a deduction of either killed in a ritual murder or the ritual was staged to cover for the true murder motive. It's a cover. I'm going to say it's a cover. Okay, so we have the murder. It's clear the murderer had a key. If I found out who had a key to the altar room, we'll shrink the circle of suspects. The murderer attacked Fabio in the smoking lounge, striking his head with a wine bottle. The attacker then hurried to the lock the altar's room door from the inside with their own key. The dying Fabio was dragged to the altar, the attacking piercing chest with the originator, then used his blood to draw occult symbols around the altar. The murderer hid the blood-stained clothes in the old wardrobe. The murderer washed the blood from himself and picked up a new robe before leaving the altar room unnoticed. Okay.
I'm starting to put the pieces together.
Fabio was stabbed.
I see nothing gets past you, Werner. Yes, he was stabbed, but only after being knocked out in the next room and placed. I do not yet know why.
Oh my god,
So, who's
Sherlock
responsible?
sass.
Well, it was one person working alone, and the murderer has now donned a robe. He or she could be hiding in plain sight. We have lost time, Werner, but your discretion may prove to be a benediction after all. The murderer had to have access to this room. After the crime, he used his own key to lock the door. So, who had the key to the altar room?
I'm not sure. As a special guest, I was provided one by Mr. Manchios. He should be able to tell you of any others.
Where can I find him?
Most likely in the main hall, entertaining his guests. He has a mask with golden stars. You can't miss him. But please be discreet. We don't want to risk disturbing the revelry.
Oh, that was it. That was the only evidence I could actually talk to him about. I think.
I know you can untangle this mess.
Kurt Manchio should know who had the key to that room. Virgil told me is in someone in the main hole. The man wears a mask with golden stars and is most probably still nervous about the discovery of the body. Okie dokie. See what we can see. Mysterious aristocrat, sympathetic, evades taxes. It's evasion. That's definitely not him. Like whiskey critic. They're tense and brittle.
Kurt Manchios, I presume. I'm Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, you must be the one Werner told me about. What a sweet voice you have. It must belong to a handsome young man. Can I call you Sherlock?
As you wish, Mr. Manchios. Mr. Vogel asked me to help you. The body in the altar room requires answers, and quickly. I suspect the murderer to still be here.
What? Lower your voice. I don't want anyone to hear us.
Did you know Fabio well?
People are starting to look at us, Sherlock. Change the subject. I can't believe what happened to him. To me. Such an atrocity. Think what it means for me. A wonderful evening for so many good, influential, and rich people has been ruined.
Getting the home welcome. Yes, your whiskey tastes horrible.
Exotic delights.
Pretty much.
I don't understand. Surely a murder would affect your reputation to a greater extent.
Please, isn't this why you are here? I thought you were a silent magician. Do your tricks and make it go away.
I need to find all those who had the key to the altar room. As far as I know, Mr. Vogel, Fabio, and you had access to it. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes. Also, Matista and Santos.
Santos? Who is that?
Santos Pinchetti, my major domo. In his opinion, at least.
I'd like to speak to Mr. Pinchetti and Matista. Do you have somewhere I might have a private conversation with them?
Of course, of course. Let me think. Matista is entertaining the guests somewhere, and Santos... Oh, yes. He will be busy with the servants. Or the cook. What's that noise? What's going on? Freeze, filth. You're under arrest.
Well, the police are coming complicated matters. What the? This is almost comical. It's not supposed. It's probably not supposed to be, but of course the musical notes as well. What on earth is that guy doing on the fountain? The shark is the only one to have not been smacked to crappery. Oh my god.
Look at you. Committed a crime, and now I have to free you, kiss your hand, and apologise for the inconvenience.
I did tell you that Mr. Vogel and I were innocent. I emphasized it in my statement.
Your statement? Thanks to some bigwigs who work for the so-called good of the country by releasing fleas like you. Thank God we have Vogel in his letter. Once I get to that goldfish, I'll...
Bigwig. Oh, my wretched brother Mycroft and his long nose.
Wait, did you say Mycroft? Mycroft Holmes? Are you the youngest son of Violet Holmes, rest her soul?
You knew my mother?
Not personally, no. Not exactly. I was working on the paper.
Oh, Jack is missing all this, I know,
Did you happen
right?
to remember anything of the events?
Well, I didn't
The
make
fuck
any
was that
notes,
sequence?
But I remember seeing some notes. Why?
You must help me. It would mean a great deal to me if you could find any information about that day.
Huh. Got you hooked, right? You know what? Stark and the others think they're the smartest here, thanks to you. Let me get this straight. Are you listening to me, lad?
I'm all ears.
Take this case. Report to me only, to Constable Harvey Oswald. I'll leave everything I have on this table. Find the murderer. Be a real copper. Question the suspects, make them sing, give me something substantial.
And if Mr. Vogel is not a suspect?
If he's innocent, then you can take your favourite degenerate away from here. If you slip or mess with the evidence, then trust me, your brother won't save you from my bludgeon. Meanwhile, I'll be checking the archive for you. If anybody asks, then you're a consulting detective.
Let's make a start then. heart.
There's where the sales are. Consulting detective.
I'm glad we managed to get the scoop before the raid.
All evidence collected. Hey. Can I change now, please? I just want to be able to change John into the ice cream outfit as penance for what he did earlier. Report number 6260. Following reports from a witness of the satanic ritual who claimed to have found a body, the raid on the Manchios mansion was granted. It resulted in the arrest of multiple suspects and dispersal of the group in masks and robes caught in the act of gross indecency and unnatural behaviour. The body of the victim was found laying in the altar with a knife wound in his chest. The officers identified the victim Fabio 20, a local performer and artist. Arrested suspects V. Vogel. V. Vogel had a letter of an insulting nature in his possession in which had been written by the victim. He claims to have found the body. He is infamous for his eccentric personality. Oh. S. Holmes carried a murder weapon, a dagger with the victim's blood and other items of evidence. He was invited by another suspect, V. Vogel, presumably to obstruct the official investigation. K. Manchios, the owner of the mansion and organizer of the satanic party, paid the victim to participate in the ritual, had access to the crime scene. Batista, Fabio's partner and participant in the ritual, tried to escape, resisted arrest, owned a book with the description of the ritual performed in the altar room. Some of the guests are temporarily detained for further questioning. Oh. Witness disposition. I, Santos Pinchetti, am a witness who reports a suspicion of murder at Manchio's mansion in Grand Saray. During preparations for the social party, I heard loud noises from the closed altar room. Immediately I thought of the sacrifice of a living being overviewed by none other than Kurt Manchios. There was blood on the walls, strange symbols, and a dagger in the heart. As soon as I was able to think clearly, I rushed to the police station to report my findings. The station responded to the disposition by sending a patrol while the witness left the station and went home. Santos, you are a very shady fuck now. Evidence ticket. The provider of this ticket has permission to inspect all evidence on case number 6260. I have all my evidence. It is mine.
Back on track to solve the case.
He's just sat there.
I can't go back to prison.
John, really? She goes for random quoting. Yes, I can hear the gunshire. Santos Pinchetti informed the police. Pinchetti is a suspect who should be arrested and questioned. He had a key which he don't mention in his deposition. Right. Also more curious as to what the fuck the cops were even find. Looks like confetti. I don't know either. This investigation. The police arrested the media in the raid of Manchester. Mentioned Constable Oswald me said he could find documents relating to my mother's death in exchange for helping solve the case. I agree. Constable Oswald went in the archive during the investigation. He left everything else to the case on the table. Candidate to engines in appendix 6. Report number that. Risk deposition. Santos is a suspect. Inmate's ticket. Imprisoned Vogel. Gifted cufflinks.
Look, I found Werner.
Can at the very least leave so I can... I have a very, very important thing to do. It involves leaving this building. Temporarily. I can... You're wearing that now, John. You annoyed me too much.
He's even putting up posters, poor man.
There we go.
Losing it.
I have an idea, boys. This one with confetti-filled shotguns is very effective, trust me. Oh, wrong. They're just being allowed to stand there and drink. Wonderful piece of process there. Wonderful. Oh, I'm just able to walk in.
Is restricted.
Dang. I probably got a promotion for such a splendid idea. Okay, so 5. You have someone in there. That's probably Manchio. 6 is Matista. There's Vogel. Get John. Enjoying your new outfit there, John, eh? Hey? Hey? You liking that? Yeah. Thought you might. Right, let's have a look at the evidence, see if I've got something about Vogel. Prison Vogel. Yeah.
Werner, are you all right?
Oh, yes, yes. Everything's fine. In fact, it's something of a family reunion. My brother spent quite some time in this place himself.
You should not be here. I told the police everything I knew, but they refused to let you go. They require proof to free you.
Ha! What did you expect? The mighty Sherlock Holmes swans in, tells the officers what to think, and the world obeys?
Of course not.
Yes.
Anyway,
That's precisely what should happen.
And I've got a free hand in the investigation. I find proof to solve the case for him. He obtains files about my mother's death for me.
Well done. If one has the power or will and can act, then one must. I wonder, suppose you couldn't get the proof to your truth. Would you tell a lie to the guard that enabled my freedom, knowing my innocence? Would that not be just?
Wouldn't lie for you.
There are lines I will not cross, Werner. I will do my best to secure your release, but with proof, not deception.
Really? How many white lies have you told on this island? Why not for me? Why not another?
That is absurd. I can resolve this without compromises. Do not give up hope. I can't follow you here. I can't follow you here. I can't follow you here. I can't follow you here.
So anything I can actually get?
I can't follow you here.
I'm not supposed to know anything about this.
I can't follow you here.
I'm not supposed to know anything about this. I'm not supposed to know anything about this.
I can't follow you here. I have learned who told the police about the crime. It was Santos Pinchetti.
Do I know him?
The major domo of the manor. He cleans up after you.
Well, then he does his job perfectly. All but invisible. I couldn't tell you the first thing about him.
I kind of want to talk to him last. Do I actually have anything that I can talk to her about? No, not really. Okay. I wonder if he can follow you there.
I'm Sherlock
Yeah.
Holmes. I'm helping Constable Oswald. You are Matista, Fabio's friend.
This body, yes, it's Matista. But it's a mere shell that will die someday. Just like Fabio.
Well, not because he's not allowed to know anything about anything. Yeah.
Please accept my condolences for your friend.
Thank you.
I'm just here to ask questions and find Fabio's murderer.
It will not bring Fabio back.
Observe. Not being a perv. Primitive occult tattoo. Inks herself. That's impressive for, self-tattooing. Bitten nails. Nervous. Old and healing cut, self-inflicted. Ooh, yay. Shackle scars, old and barely visible. Mm-hmm. Sure I know what that's about. Birthmark inflicted with branding iron. Same one that Fabio had. Daring, I see, man. Blood-filled bruises obtained recently. Matisse, the performer and Fabio's partner, has had a difficult life. She was branded and enslaved while still a child. While enslaved, she met Fabio, hence her similar branding. Old scars are a result of her slavery during adolescence. She continues to be haunted by these traumatic experiences. She has genuine interest in mysticism since she has tattooed her body with the occult. With occult symbols. Matisse tries to get over her past, and the life of performance seems to be an opportunity for her to earn money. Or, Matista, the performer and Fabio's partner, has had a difficult life. She was branded and enslaved while still a child. Once live, she met Fabio, had their similar branding. Old scars are a result of her slavery during adolescence. She continues to be haunted by traumatic experiences. Matista seems to be pragmatic about her body after years of abuse. She sells herself to the guests, will do whatever they want to her. She's not afraid to step over the line. Also, Matista marks her body with ink. See if you have a good stream, no problem at all, Shen. Thanks for coming as long as you did. I'll see you later. You leave us with the quote of, consume the unborn, just swallow after a blowjob then. Widgren has come up with some amazing quotes. Or I would say also disassociated from her body because of how she talks about herself as, you know, as being a shell. She just glitched forward. That kind of freaked me out a bit. And the fact that she's leaning slightly closer, that's actually really creepy. Not quite as bad as the, you know, the child in Pathologic 2 who reacted to everything I feckin' said. Ugh. Ugh. Jesus fucking shitty ass. Ugh. Ugh. But at the same time, she's got a lot. Oh, I think it's actually she's punished herself for her past, actually. Because of, you know, all the... I don't know. I actually don't know. Oh, it's getting tougher. It's getting tougher to discern. That one actually seems to be more... Yeah, I'm going to go with disassociated.
You have both old and new scars. Some from the time when you were a slave with Fabio. Other scars have a different origin. The guests pay good money to torment you?
I am skilled in giving pleasure, but I don't participate in such practices.
I thought your body was...
For sale? It's true. Many unwanted things were done to my body. And the pain helped me to discover...
Occult deities? Yes, the tattoo speaks loudly of it.
Yes. Your gods abandoned me, and the ones I favor now are more protective of me.
How did you escape?
Something happened. One night the master fell down the stairs. I made him fall, and he died. We ran away that day. We managed to get on a ship and traveled here, to Gordona. Fabio and I started a new life here. It was very hard at first, but it became better with time. Until today.
They would not sat down at that table for that long. Fell. Mm-hmm. Yep. Fell.
The bruises on your neck are not self-inflicted. Someone else made them.
Some guests can't contain themselves. They even bite. Sometimes.
Matisse suffered bruises on her body from brutal interactions with the guests during the party.
Good day, Mr. Manchios. I am Constable Oswald's partner in this investigation.
Be quick and gentle. Some of your colleagues are untrained boors. Although I don't mind meeting young officers. The new blood here.
If you cooperate in finding Fabio's murderer, there will be no need to meet with the boars again.
That voice. Werner's friend? You're the policeman. What a disappointment.
Only an undercover agent can scour a ditch full of deviants. I am a consulting detective, although I'm capable of replacing the entire department through my consultations.
Sharp-tongued, I like it. May I presume this tongue will get us out of this trouble? I would be so indebted and glad to repay you.
Nothing's changed. I'm looking for the murderer. That's the only way to get us out of trouble.
But it shouldn't take much time, correct? We're all busy after all.
I need to examine you first.
Observe. Rouge. He wears makeup. Fair. Red spots. Rash from exposure to hair dye. Okay. Soap under fingernails. Washed hands in a hurry. Oh. I think my early prediction may have been correct. But also, if he wears makeup, he might have just washed his face from the makeup. But see, those are very red shoes. Lavishly expensive. Hides his age or is a stickler for cleanliness. So, Kurt Manchios is extremely rich, eccentric, and frivolous. He is the organizer of the parties for good owners elite and the owner of the Manchios mansion. He spends his life in the company of similarly overprivileged people. However, Mr. Manchios wishes to hide his true age from the younger participants of his parties. He is concerned with aging to the point where he uses makeup and hair dye to look younger. Can believe. Sticker for cleanliness. Kurt Manchios is extremely rich, eccentric, and frivolous. He is the organizer of the parties for good owners elite and the man of the Manchios mansion. He spends his life in the company of similarly overprivileged people. However, his being sociable in his manner has made him cautious regarding his health. He uses chemicals and hair dye to clean and improve himself to the extent that it damages his skin. No, I'm gonna say he hides his age because the sticker for cleanliness thing doesn't explain why he has the rouge on his cheeks, so he hides his age.
You are a little over the top with your use of makeup, Mr. Manchios. Is it so difficult for you to acknowledge your age?
Well, Sherlock, that's easy for you to say to an old man when you look as though you are barely 15.
But still, it shouldn't be an issue for
Oh, it's a sass off.
For people of my age, it isn't an issue, no. But the younger ones can be so afraid of wrinkles and grey flecks. I have to adapt.
Such a methodical man who cares for his body.
I've got greys. I've got grey in my hair.
Are you so
I don't like it.
Or perhaps even impulsive?
I wouldn't call myself that. Silly little details. If I missed it, it wasn't important. Or rather, it was less important than who or what I was focused on.
Right, evidence.
I've no idea about that.
Do you have any idea who tipped off the police to raid your mansion, Mr. Manchios?
Of course. It was you. I could even say you Sherlocked me in here.
A good guess, but the wrong one. The fellow who did that was Mr. Pinchetti, your major domo.
What? Santos? But how could he even know? If he's not the murderer himself. The ungrateful swine. He was dared to besmirch my reputation.
Not a very eloquent choice of words.
What should I call him then, since he's a snitch? Make him talk, Sherlock. I'm quite certain he knows more about the murder than he has told the police.
Oh my god! Oh. Wow! I can't believe he actually used the Sherlocked line. God. Frogwares definitely know their Sherlock Holmes, even referencing the Benedict Cumberbatch series. Very nicely done. Very, very nicely done. Guzzling your tongue, it hurts. Oh, nasty. It's really creepy. Stranger danger, stranger danger. Yeah, yeah.
You'd better ask someone else. I've no idea about that. I've no idea about that. I've no idea about that.
You bought an expensive pair of cufflinks for Fabio. Were they his price? Or were they a tip for an exclusive show?
It was pure business. Fabio escorted me a few times. I was merely showing my gratitude.
This pair cost a small fortune. You must be extremely grateful then. Tell me more.
You've thrust a knife in an exposed nerve, Sherlock. Yes, he was my protege and my beacon also. With my experience and his beauty, we could have achieved anything. I had faith in him. I would have made him.
Mr. Vogel told me a little about your parties, but I would like to know more directly from you.
I'm all yours, Sherlock. You have me arrested and locked here with you alone.
No. No, that's just no. God's no. No. No, no, no. No. No, 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 no. No. I'm going to take some paracetamol. Because I've got a slight headache. And my body is now crying very loudly, nope, after that. Oh. At least he didn't say anything about pumping him for information. I think I might have just left. Oh God, Brain, why did you have to come up with that? Ah. In all honesty, I think the headache's probably more from the heat, but hey. Either way, I'm taking some mild painkillers to help deal with it. Thank you for the hydration reminder as well, Callie. More drinky. Thank you. There we go. So the VOD title of this is now Sherlocked in Jail. Because it just had to.
Why did you invite Mr. Vogel as your special guest?
He's a pretty fellow. He's capable of surprising the public. He has a talent for saying words that no one else would wish to either say or hear.
I suppose I can't argue with that.
He is a free addition to the eccentricity of the party, which is fine by me, as long as it enhances my party.
I'd like to know who you usually invite to your parties.
Free minds who are able to leave reality for an evening, who can taste forbidden fruit without prejudice. There is nothing that quite spices up life like these parties, assuming one is old enough and has worked many years for the good of one's country.
Oh, all true laborers, I see. What was Fabio like? His personality, his habits? Anything you can tell me?
He was the brightest star of my parties. Young, magnetic, and full of energy. I don't even want to mention his beauty. Otherwise, I'll be sobbing.
An expensive champion, I imagine.
His performances were flawless. He deserved his payment. Do you think he was murdered because of money?
Possibly. What about the other guests? Were they used to opening their wallets as well?
I wouldn't restrict my guests from anything. I'm sure Fabio received a few coins from others for his services.
Okay, that's quite a bit of evidence updated. Santos is a suspect evidence ticket. Oh, I need to get the evidence. I need that. That's what I need to do next. I need to get the evidence. Tell Constable Oswald about that and go to the evidence lockup. Oh, that's a lot. Manchester has carefully prepared himself for the depravity. Sure. Prepared himself for the depravity, or he cleaned himself of blood after Fabio's murder. I don't know. It's very possible. It is it's possible that Manchios killed Fabio because Manchios came onto him and Fabio rejected him because Fabio had more of a thing going for Matista, and Manchios didn't like that, so crack with the bottle, and then, you know, if I can't have Fabio, no one can have Fabio. Stab. And the Santos guy that we're actually kind of suspicious about turns out to be, oh look, he was actually doing the right thing by reporting this. So right now I'm going to go with my thing of, he, washed himself after the murder. So we're going to go keep with the thing that Manchios is the killer, unless I find something that massively contradicts that. That's a possibility. During the fight in the smoking lounge, Fabio bruised Matista. So that was implying that Matista was the one who killed him. Matista rose on the bottom for brutal interactions with guests during the party. That's what she says. So that's what I'm going to go with for now. For now. Okay, so I don't think any more of those clues match up. So we're going to go and have a speak with Mr. Oswald and tell him about that. So I also need to get to the evidence lockup. And that bit down there is the evidence lockup. Evidence ticket. I go here and...
This area is restricted.
Okay. So it's not. Spectre's archive. He did say he was going to be in the archive, didn't he? Santos is a suspect.
Have you considered Mr. Santos Pinchetti as a suspect?
The snitch? Have you seen him? I mean, my breath could knock him down. What's so special about him?
As a major domo, he has keys that open all the rooms, including the one to the crime scene. Could have testified only to circumvent suspicion, don't you think? We need to question him.
Right. I'll send our men to fetch him. Stay here. They brought him in, Mr. Holmes. Here's the key to interrogation room number 7. Mr. Pinchetti didn't even resist, our men said.
Thank you.
Let's confiscate belongings. Okay. Where is the evidence ticket? Evidence room. Need to find the evidence room. Ah, there we are. Evidence room, right in front of me.
Good night. Your ticket, please, if you want me to help you.
I'd like to check the evidence from this case.
And who are you?
Oswald sent me. I'm a consulting detective.
His partner, then? Let me see. Ah, a ritual murder. What a bunch of degenerates. Wait a second. I'll bring it to the table.
Oh, that's a lot of evidence.
A heavily perfumed handkerchief with the initials KM in the corner.
That's Manchos.
All the keys of the mansion on one golden ring.
So that middle one there is definitely Kurt Manchios' one.
It's a miracle this ruby hasn't tempted anyone.
Oh, it actually says the name in there. So this is Vogel's one here. And whose is this one then? That's got to be Batista. Letter from Fabio. The letter that was found in Vogel's evidence was: is your mind unsound? You can't control your business, not around me anyway. For me, it's too great a risk to ignore that kind of behaviour. I can speak, play, and play with anyone I choose. I'm not another Batista. You pay me, but you haven't bought me. Of course, I'll keep all your generous donations, even though they're hardly compensating for your last terrible outburst. I'm leaving you, although Batista will still be around. Fabio. Oh, that was from Fabio to Manchios, I'm thinking.
Not the time for privacy. Werner's personal sketchbook. An emergency kit for boredom.
Werner has an emergency kit on him.
A handcrafted charm that contains hair and nail clippings. Her key to the altar room. That's not for bedtime reading. This ex libris belongs to Manchios' library.
The Power of Love, Blood and Mandrake. The police found this occult book in Matisse's bag during the arrest. According to the ex libris, the tome was taken from Mr. Manchios' collection. Excuse me. It contains illustrations and descriptions of rituals similar to the crime scene. Prepare the naked body of a recently deceased object of interest. Draw symbols of Mars and Venus to enhance the power you possess. To use the force of male and female nature. Pierce his heart with the golden dagger to be rid of the blood that does not love you. Draw a symbol representing your love while waiting for the resurrection. Recite the charm.
The book describes a ritual similar to the one performed in the altar room. Thank you, officer.
Power of Love. I'm gonna say. Okay. Alright, fine. That actually hasn't helped anything in the Mind Palace anyway. Santos is suspect. Power of Love and Blood Mandrake. That's from Fabio. So I want to take that to Matista and get some opinion on that, and then I want to take that to Manchios and see what's things like that, because I'm very certain that's directed to Manchios. Right. Okay. So let's go and pin that and talk to Matista.
This book, The Power of Love, Blood and Mandrake, what do you hope to achieve?
To learn more about the invisible strengths that govern us. Occultism is real. The master who fell that night when Fabio and I escaped, I made him fall. I cast a spell on him and it worked.
Or was it a coincidence?
The universe is rarely so lazy.
If you say so. This is the letter the police found in Mr. Vogel's pocket. Fabio wrote it. Do you know anything about it?
I don't. Although I can feel Fabio's energy. It's there, but it refuses to let me analyze it.
Do you practice occult rituals?
For protection? For fortune? To wash away the ugliness of the world? Sometimes to survive. I have the gift. And I'm learning to use it better.
Did you use your gift on Fabio?
I only used white magic. Love charms lately. Fabio became so distant. I just wanted him to be with me. But I suppose I'm not as skilled as I thought.
Okay. Just the unique ult over Fabio. It's made use ritual on Fabio. May perform the ritual on Fabio to bring his love back. But the ritual specifically says about getting rid of the blood that does not love you. So I don't think it's the kind of thing that she would have done, because, you know, she said she was just trying to love charms. It seems a bit of an escalation. It does seem something more that a jealous lover would do, who's spurned. So those two things are things I can still talk about, and I can present those. I'm fairly certain I'm going to press both of those to Mencios, and we will see what he has to say about them.
Do you recognize this book? Could Matista have borrowed it from your library?
She didn't ask me. How ungrateful.
The things described in the book were inspiration for the rituals you performed?
Do you really believe that blood, symbols, and incantations can resurrect the dead? They are just eerie tales with a mix of occultism and voodoo. My rituals are a stage to show some of the forbidden pleasures.
I've read this letter from Fabio. It had no addressee, but it was found in Mr. Vogel's pocket.
Werner? Strange. I didn't think the two of them corresponded.
I'm sure there is some explanation. Would you care to read it?
Call me superstitious, but I don't care to read a letter from a dead man.
Sus. Why wouldn't he want to read the letter unless he knows what the letter says already? It's highly sus. Wait, what's the other thing that's marked there? Got someone else to ask about that. I can talk to Werner about it.
So, the police found a letter from Fabio in your pocket.
I cannot tell if it was truly in my pocket at all. Perhaps it was placed there later.
Well, that is one hypothesis. If it were true, then how did it get there?
No clue. But this night has been rather eccentric. Such a detail could have easily eluded me.
Indeed. Do you recall reading it?
I can't remember that either. But I tend to respect privacy. Reading others' personal notes is not one of my perversities.
So Vogel pretty much confirms through his eccentricity that he has no idea what that says, and he gives no indication that he would know what it says. So it does sound more like to me like Mencios.
Mr. Pinchetti, a pleasure to meet you. I'm Sherlock Holmes. I'm helping Constable Oswald.
I've already told him everything I know. I'm only a witness, sir. Everything's in my report.
And I've read it. You forgot to mention that you hold the keys to the room where Fabio was found. I need only to find if the crime was intentional.
But I need to return to my duties.
I doubt the house will fall without you, Mr. Pinchetti. Just be still for a few seconds.
Patched holes repaired multiple times. Inflamed skin, psoriasis or allergy. Dyed textile, coloured more than once. Nothing on his hands to indicate being washed recently. Not like with Mencios. Stepped in blood. Santos Pinchetti is the head servant at the Mencios mansion. Despite being employed at the highest position with the mansion, he appears to be poor. His body shows symptoms of psoriasis. Mr. Pinchetti hides his damaged skin under layers of makeup. The Major Domo's suit had multiple holes that have been patched or sewn to renovate the suit's look. Mr. Pinchetti has dyed it. That sounds more like it to me already. Terrible miser. Santos Pinchetti is head servant at the Mencios. Despite being employed at the highest position in the household, he appears to be bored. Despite having enough money, Mr. Pinchetti spends as little as possible. Cheap makeup hides imperfections on his body in an attempt to look more modern. Mr. Pinchetti has dyed his suit on several occasions. To save even more money, the Major Domo appears to have personally repaired multiple holes in the suit. It sounds more like he's got financial difficulties. Also, because of his insistence, he wants to get back to work because he doesn't want to lose pay. So yeah, financial difficulties.
You are the major domo of a rich mansion, and you seem barely able to afford decent clothing. You hide under heavy makeup a skin disease that might be treated with more onerous but less harmful means. Do you have money troubles?
I do not have a lot of means. The pay is below what you might expect.
But you could easily change your job if your employer does not meet your elementary needs.
One can change his employer, that is true.
And the blood on your shoe, where does that come from?
I don't actually know. Perhaps from a guest?
Did you know Fabio?
He did look at it as if he genuinely did not
He
know.
was a frequent guest, and cleaning the mess after his performances was tedious. Mr. Manchios always had a role for him, and mainly the leading one. The parties were always Fabio-centric?
And Batista? Was she as popular as her partner?
Don't tell her I said this, but I do not think so. Mr. Manchios hired her only because Fabio refused to work without her. Mr. Manchios used to see her as a worker. She was tasked with entertaining the guests, unlike Fabio, who could pick and choose.
Oh, his belongings are in here as well. Okay. So let's put in Jetty Blonde on the bloodstone inside the shoe to clean himself after the murder. Yeah, those two are now in conflict. Because that's the whole thing is, you know, now saying that the Pinchetti is the one that, you know, he might not have done it, but the blood on his shoe is now somewhat of a interesting thing.
I recognize the key from the altar room among these.
So he definitely does have the key. Still. Excuse me. Kurt Manchios' will and note. A small note attached to the will says, Santos, my hopeful slug. You begged me to include in my will, so I did. Here's the latest version of the will. Kurt. Text of the will under the note. Santos Pinchetti, the majordomo of the Manchios mansion, receives a jar of mustache wax and a salt lamp that he might always remember his caring employer, Kurt Manchios. Wow. Kurt's a dick. Manchios is an absolute wanker.
Mr. Manchios says that you begged him to be included in the heritage. Isn't that a little extreme, even for a majordomo?
He's not only my employer, he's my uncle. And I'm his next of kin. The only one. Mr. Manchios flatly refuses to pay a family member. All I have to do is repay his so-called love, cleaning up the filth after perverts and decadents. He's imprisoned me. The best I can hope for is a new broom. That's why I wanted to have my part of the inheritance.
Is it that bad? You have a roof above your head, a salary, and the status of a majordomo.
For God's sake. I'm forced to dye and stitch my threadbare clothes, and the holes in my shoes are painful. I'm ashamed every time a guest looks at me closely.
Why do you think your uncle treats you this way?
My mother, my uncle's sister, had me illegitimately. She died, and I was given the surname of one of the maids.
But you are entitled to some of the money that belongs to your family.
He thinks not. I was not responsible for my mother's death. I work hard, and he pays me nothing. I feed on the leftovers. While he wastes our estate's property on decadent parties, he paid Fabio handsomely and showered him with expensive gifts for their disgusting relationship.
Complicated things. Thank you to Ian DJ for the hydration reminders. That's complicated matters significantly because now he actually does, you know, so he's got a motive now. He actually has motive. So I can now speak to Manchios about that. There we go. The video will cover but hasn't paid off. And there's still stuff in the Mind Palace. Still telling me that there is, there's an issue in the Mind Palace. There's a conflict.
I've read the letter about your will. A harsh method of ridiculing Santos. I doubt he will use mustache wax when he wears no mustache to begin with.
Where did you get it? Is the slug here? Tell him I shouldn't have to provide for him. He's a grown man who shouldn't sit on his uncle's neck. He conceives himself as my only heir.
And who is he to you?
He's a leech on my aging body. He has only added problems to my life since the death of his mother.
I fail to see why you made him your major domo.
He needed to know his place, so I taught him.
According to Sans Pachetti, by the content they may have been addressed to Kurt Manchios. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. So I think I need to ask. I keep doing that. I keep going to the right and walking into the locker. Dickhead. Yeah. I think I might need to talk to Pinchetti about the letter.
Please let me out.
Oh no, I can't. Okay, so he's got nothing more to say. Right. So I now need to confront Mr. Manchios about the letter.
There is undeniable evidence that you were the original recipient of this letter.
What are you talking about? Is it addressed to me?
Your protege wanted a fresh start, it seems. This is sufficient to charge you.
Me? Hurt my star? Are you insane that you would accuse me of such a thing?
He did not consider himself as yours. Since you deny everything, let's move on. Do you have any idea as to how the letter could have ended up in Mr. Vogel's pocket?
You were the detective. Perhaps he took it from Fabio. Werner was a little high.
Did it again. Just after commenting it, I did it again. Vogel, maybe?
I have reason to believe that the intended recipient of the incriminating letter may have been Kurt Manchios.
Well, that makes sense. Too bad I can't remember how I came to possess it. Though I did spend quite some time with Mr. Manchios during the party.
Unfortunately, even with an answer, that may still not be enough to clear you with the police. But fear not, I will persevere.
I hope your attempt to put things straight will make up for...
You being on a bender?
Touché.
I freaking love the banter. I really do. So the only person left to talk about is Tisa.
Could Fabio have written this letter to Kurt Manchios?
Oh. That could be. I never thought Mr. Manchios could make Fabio that angry, though.
What do you mean?
Well, Fabio wanted to disassociate from Mr. Manchios. Clients who are in love are both a blessing and a curse.
But Fabio was here tonight.
Money. In our line of work, we can't afford to turn down clients who pay as well as Kurt Manchios.
Was Fabio afraid of Mr. Manchios?
Not at all. The old toad wouldn't dare to do more than sweet talk and touching. Talk can be forgotten, and touching washed away.
Don't match his feelings. Either Vogel or Manchios is lying. Kurt Manchios claims Werner Vogel to like Vogel does not remember doing so. So that's himself while on the evidence very substances will Kurt Manchios that the letters of Vogel both make it look like a suspect. Yeah. Oh, we got another one. We got a final one. Oh. It's not supposed to understand what cleans up on the murder, or you may step into the blood while discovering the crime scene. So the Kurt Manchios is the murderer. For years, Fabio played with Kurt Manchios' heart and abused his interest in the young performer. Manchios repeated everything another rejection. He murdered Fabio in a staged love ritual to avoid suspicion. So, either crime of passion, Kurt Manchios was heartbroken and panicked and did not mean to kill Fabio. The improvised ritual was a desperate attempt to cover up the crime. Prison sentence should be enough. His harsh punishment is the death of his love. I mean, in fairness, in fairness, I was about to say, but the ritual is what killed Fabio. However, I don't think Kurt Manchios would have been the type to know after he cracked the guy over the head that he wasn't dead, because there was blood. He was on the floor, not moving. Especially back in these times, you're gonna think, shit, he's dead. Or Kurt Manchios killed Fabio in cold blood. He staged the crime as a ritual to blame Batista. He planted the letter in Vogel's pocket to avoid suspicion. Manchios has no consideration for the life of others and deserves to be hanged. Okay, so what do we get if we... So if I do this... Killed an ritual murderer. Send him off to privacy. Manchios. So the other one is Batista is the murderer. Batista was afraid of Fabio's growing popularity and ambitions. She wanted to keep him with her for as long as possible in a large effort to Batista's collective love ritual during which she killed Fabio. Crushed soul. Batista is a product of a tormented life. She knows no difference between good and evil. She wanted her love Fabio to stay with her always. Batista deserves help. She needed to be treated and have a chance to get over her past in an asylum. Or an occult murderer. Batista uses occultism as a way to avenge her miserable life. She stabbed Fabio to keep him close to her. She should be held accountable for her deeds. Any judge would give a death sentence without hesitation. Thank you, DJ, for your contribution to the 24-hour stream challenge. Right, so we are at the culmination of this. I don't think there's any more. Yeah, we've found all the clues now. So, from what I can see is... So the other thing you said, what else? Vanchetti missed the blood splatter. Which was cover. Then by the yes. So we have 3. Santos Pinchetti is the murderer. Pinchetti has worked for his uncle for years in the deep hope of obtaining his heritage. Manchio's hostility and humiliation pushed Pinchetti to kill Fabio and frame his uncle. Manchio's imprisonment would make Pinchetti the only lawful heir. Correct the injustice. The only way for Santos Pinchetti to right his wrongs was to be rid of his monstrous uncle. Pinchetti should be punished for the crime of murder, but he suffered enough and deserves a fresh start after a prison sentence. His cold revenge, Santos Pinchetti snapped. After years of disrespect, Pinchetti devised a plan to be rid of his uncle. However, misery and despair cannot justify murder. Pinchetti is dangerous and a noose around his neck is all he deserves. Oh, this is difficult. So I'm fairly confident that Batista is innocent in this. I'm fairly confident it is not Batista's doing. Batista is very much, with the way that she approaches things, she has no reason to lie. Like, if she considers her body to be a shell, then she doesn't care about what happens to her. She only cared about, trying to keep Fabio around her as much as possible. So she would have no reason to lie or cover up. If I asked her if she did the ritual, then she would have said yes, because she wanted him to stay with her. But when I asked her about it, she said the ritual, that all she did was white magic and love charms. So I'm thinking that book was planted on her. Well, the book might have been planted on her, or it might have been actually said, she wanted to research the stuff. But still, I don't think Batista was the killer. Because Batista does not seem like she's capable. Well, she probably would be capable, but she wasn't intending to do that, so she never even thought to do that. She kept doing the white magic she mentioned, love charms. She was getting desperate, but she did not ever think that... Excuse me. You not ever think that, you know, she's not the murderer here. The ritual, however, was a cover-up because it wasn't Matista doing it. I think, honestly, the key thing here, some of the key things here, is that I had the letter, I showed it to everyone, and everyone was, you know, quite happy to know the contents, even being a bit creepy. Werner said at the time that he did not, you know, he didn't, you know, he's not in the habit of looking at someone's private correspondence, but he still looked at it when offered by Sherlock just now to, you know, see the contents. Matista also was not, you know, rejected, you know, was not avoidant of it, nor was Pinchetti. Manchios said, "Call me superstitious, but I don't want to read a letter from a dead man." Why would he not want to read the letter unless he knows the contents and knows that his reaction would have been another burst of outrage or anger that would have vilified him? There's also the thing about the blood splatter on Pinchetti's shoe. When pointed it out, the way he reacted was genuinely he had not noticed that. And, you know, like he says, he is always cleaning up in the mansion after what Manchio does and what happens at the parties. So it's very, very clear he could, you know, have just stepped in blood at some point, because, you know, that's what happens there. So I don't think it's, you know, the case of, you know, he washed himself and all that. And also, Manchios is the only one during the observation who was clear he had washed his hands lately, which you would have done to wash blood off of them. And there was, you know, there was evidence that there was blood in the sink. So I'm thinking it's Manchios, and I think it's, you know, the crime of passion thing. So we're going to change these deductions to he stepped in blood accidentally, Manchios washed himself after the murder, and Manchios planted the letter. So Kurt Manchios is the murderer, I'm going to say. Now then. Honestly, I think I'm going for the sexual predator thing, because he is. That's what he's like. He was heartbroken and, you know, he panicked, but, you know, he still did it, and he was still angry. So yeah, I'm going to say that it's a sexual predator thing. Kurt Manchios killed Fabio in cold blood. He staged the crime as a ritual to blame Matista. He planted the letter in Vogel's pocket to avoid suspicion. Manchios has no consideration for the life of others and deserves to be hanged. Yeah, going with that. So casebook, we now need to... Or can I talk to someone else about this letter then? Okay, I'm going to switch. I'll pop that so it makes a conflict, so I'm not going to make any decisions. I'm going to see if I can talk to someone else from this, because it's still got the icon to say I can talk to people about this. No, I can't.
I appreciate your cooperation, Mr. Manchios. Wait just a moment, I have something to check.
So all I can do there is I can accuse him, so I can't ask him about the letter anymore. I'll go and see if Mr. Pinchetti has anything to say about it. I walked into the wrong cell. Oh no, accuse.
Thank you for your cooperation, Mr. Pinchetti. We'll continue later.
I'm pretty sure that Matista's going to get the same thing, so that's down to Vogel, apparently.
The air here is rather refreshing. I'd even recommend that some of my friends visit the place.
Jesus, Vogel. Werner Vogel. There's accused on you as well.
Continue our chat a little later.
So who could it be thinking I need to talk to about the letter? Oswald? I could go and have a word with him, see if he does say anything about it. I have gone past where I need to be.
This letter proves nothing. Fabio wrote it to Mr. Manchios. It's time to free Mr. Vogel.
Do you really think I'm that naive? I need proof, not words from his friend.
Very well. Mr. Pinchetti told me that Mr. Manchios was lavishing Fabio with expensive and eccentric gifts. The letter mentions rich rewards and attempts to buy Fabio with them. It was written to Mr. Manchios. Who else was showering Fabio with luxuries to buy him? It doesn't fit Mr. Vogel's character.
Look here. We had a deal. Give me the murderer and then take your friend with you. I won't budge otherwise.
Well, fine, but you're just wasting time.
That was it. That was the last conversation I needed to have. So the next thing is police investigation, which means that I need to now go and do my... this.
Continue our investigation while I look for the papers.
Right, so let's go and accuse them. Accuse.
The murder of Fabio did not have a ritual purpose, Mr. Manchios. It was staged by a man who wished to distract the investigation.
That might be true. That poor girl Matista wouldn't dare to kill the only man who cared for her. So, Santos.
Mr. Pinchetti snatched at the chance to solve his problems.
Ungrateful little scum.
I've heard a streaky not caring, yeah.
But what for?
Whilst being, in custody.
That was all. He couldn't stage the ritual, but he found the body, I believe.
I can't believe it. Why did Werner do it?
Mr. Vogel. He had no reason, and he won't be a scapegoat as you plan. You put Fabio's letter in his pocket when he was intoxicated, didn't you?
You can't be serious.
We can very often deduce someone's life by their shoes or their fingernails. You are a meticulous person, but this murder was fairly traumatic and filthy. After you stabbed Fabio, you were covered in blood. You panicked and neglected to rinse the soap from under your fingernails. The devil is in the details, Mr. Manchios.
Nonsense. I missed it simply because of the busy schedule of the party.
Of course, a staged murder was certainly not planned. You're at the twilight of your life. You have no partner, you have no children. You had feelings, however, for one man. That was Fabio. You loved him. That is, you wished to own him with money and gifts. But he was also a free mind, was he not? He turned his back on you. Quite unjust. Love, so cruel and painful, and Fabio, with his words and deeds, made you feel the more wretched. So you killed him.
You must surely perceive that my sensitive nature wouldn't allow me to hurt anyone.
You staged the murder as a satanic ritual. It was easy for you, since you were the one who wrote the scenarios for the parties. It was your way of avoiding suspicion. A respectable man in his 60s,
Early 60s.
who hosts the cream of Cordona's society, cannot possibly be a murderer. But the guests who behave like animals in his mansion, of course, one of them could have killed Fabio.
I did oversee a few of the rituals, but I did not stage Fabio's death.
Fabio played with your feelings. That was painful to realize. You spent so much time and effort to be with Fabio, but he didn't respond in the way that you would have liked. You wanted to be loved, but Fabio shattered your dreams. In the smoking lounge, he teased and mocked you. He wanted you to suffer by offering himself to others. The deception was unbearable. You were passionate, and so you struck him. Once you understood your mistake, it was too late. You were afraid, so you staged the ritual. With such a story, you might be sentenced to a few years. It might clean your conscience, and soon the case will be forgotten.
No. No.
This is my decision. I'll talk to Constable Oswald to see what I can do.
Did it again. The final time I need to leave his cell, I still nearly walked into the sodding locker again. I think I'm going to have to change it to Sherlockered in jail. Because keep going to that sodding locker. Wait, no, the archives are here, aren't they? Yes.
There's no fool like an old fool. Kurt Manchios did it. A young boy played with the heart of an old man. The latter couldn't handle it. The evidence I obtained clearly shows that the quarrel was not intended to end badly. It was an accident.
Showing pity towards your own kind, Holmes. Whatever.
All I'm saying is that prison won't take much away from an old and crushed man.
Fine. A big name like that will still give me a promotion. As for my part, not everything was in place. Perhaps some documents were transferred somewhere else, but I couldn't find a trace of them.
I think I did the wrong thing. I think I should have said it was premeditated murder.
Document drawers where we put the lost papers or the badly labelled ones.
Oh well.
Including the crime scene report of Violet Holmes's case. Everything I've found is on the desk here. Take it.
Your persistence has saved me.
Yeah, well, we had a deal after all. Your friend is free then. You can leave.
Good luck, Constable.
Ah. Seven of the police archives. Report number 0743. Officers arrived to find the deceased identified as Mrs. Violet Holmes lying in the garden of Stonewood Manor. Visual inspection showed the victim to be thoroughly soaked, with a deep vertical incision 2 inches in length down her throat. Her face was swollen and covered in red blotches. Likely cause of death, hypoxia. Awaiting confirmation from a medical examiner. Main suspect, Otto Richter, was arrested on the scene. The body was sent for autopsy. Oh.
Garden. There's a garden behind our manor. How could I forget? That's where it all happened, where it all went wrong.
Sherry, it looks like you've almost found what you wanted.
Shut up, John, all the way up there in your ice cream outfit. Sherlock, that's a locker. Sherlock, that's a locker again. Sherlock, locker. Come on now, Sherlock, that's the locker. You're doing all this on purpose now, Sherlock. Look, there's no God damn it, John! Now he's drinking with one of the debaucherous. What the fuck? What the fuck are you even, John? I was going to make a joke about, hey, maybe Sherlock, couldn't find a closet to see himself away, and so the locker was the next best thing. Then John's just doing that. Fuck's sake, John. You know what? Most of my screenshots have been of John's shenanigans. What the fuck? I'm going to see if Werner Vogel's here. No, he is not here. Okay. So I think I need to go... well, that's splintered memory. Time for me to sleep. This picture's cool, though. That was just so good. Archived. Sacrificial lamb. I should probably go and get to that. But no problem at all, Callie. Thanks for coming in as long as you did, and I'll see you later. Sleep well, my love. I have hypoxia. If John is not in chapter 2, someone needs to be funny like him. Oh, there isn't a chapter 2. So the reason why this is called chapter 1 is that it's supposed to be chapter 1 of Sherlock's story. So like, it's essentially Sherlock Holmes' origins. Chapter 2 would most likely be the first Sherlock Holmes novel. So it's supposed to be the first chapter in Sherlock Holmes' legacy sort of thing. I don't think they're going to be doing a chapter 2 because they did DLC for this. I drowned. I thought it could have either been female breaking it or just an attempt to save her. So my thought attempt to trick out to me. It made so sense to this if she was drowning. Yeah.
Oh, you did it, Sherlock. The case is closed and all rewards belong to the winner. Bravo.
It is merely the triumph of the truth.
Is it? No compromises? No lies? You're happy with your decisions?
It was the best decision I could obtain. The truth must be told in the way it is most acceptable.
You're making progress, Sherlock. I was right to believe in you. By the way, did you get that precious information about your mother? Oh, not that you must.
Yes, I did.
Forgive my intrusion in such a personal matter. I simply worry I'm failing to be of much help to you.
Actually, you were. For some reason, all the archives on the case had disappeared. This was a rare opportunity to obtain the impossible.
Outrageous. Perhaps someone found the truth unpleasant. Society usually rejects those who speak with too much honesty, doesn't it?
A comfortable lie is often preferred to an uncomfortable truth. Still, I believe that the latter should prevail, and I cannot remain silent.
That's quixotism at its best. Your mere truth cannot defeat institutions, systems, and power. Etiquette, religion, marriage, they're all lies told to preserve connections, love, and sanity, and it's all corruptible.
Lies destroy human dignity. How could you make a free decision without any knowledge of the truth?
Are we really free to decide anything in this world, Sherlock?
Oh, yes. It's a struggle, but yes, we can make our own decisions. That's what I fight for.
And what an endless fight it is. Will you ever give yourself a break, Sherlock? You're a walking contradiction, Sherlock. You refuse to lie to others, but constantly lie to yourself. How long until the train comes off the track? I cannot look away, but perhaps I should take a few steps back. You're an accident waiting to happen, dear. Until then, I shall bid you adieu.
Now, back to the manor. Oh, the outfit. John, why are you there?
Sherry, please listen to me. Sherry.
John, I always listen to you.
You don't have to do this. You don't have to go through. I don't
Trauma
know
response.
this door, but I can feel it. Buzzing, angry, like a fly at the window.
I know. I can sense it too.
You locked away this memory for a reason. There is only pain here.
Pain. And truth.
You do not need to suffer either. There is so much more we can do on Cordona, so many others we could help. There is no coming back from this.
I just got told this is the point of no return. Well.
I find myself awash in uncertainty. Perhaps now is not the time, with so much left to do.
Thank you, Sherlock. Thank you. Some doors can remain closed.
Cordona still calls for us, yes. And we will answer. But know this, John. One way or another, we will find ourselves back in front of this door.
DLC.
Able to avoid the truth any longer.
So I don't know if the DLC comes after that or not. One thing I do want to do, though, is I want to make a save. Save there. And save in a separate file. Mostly because if this is the end of it, I now have a save that I can go back to, or if this is a continuation, I have a save that I can go back to off stream to go and do trophy hunting without having to play through the entire game all over again. To be fair, I wouldn't actually mind doing that. But yeah. So let me just have a very quick search on what to do with the Sherlock Holmes DLC. How to go about that. Okay, this phone. Also, because Callie really wanted to see this game and, you know, specifically asked for it, I don't want to go and finish the game while she's not here. Okay, so there are 4 DLC cases. Wow, it says we're 91 out of 100. Wow. So, final case. The final case in the main story is Sacrificial Lamb, the one I just finished. So yeah, that was the end of it. And it looks like the other cases are DLC stuff. So yeah, basically doing this will end the game. And as I said, I don't want to do this with Callie not being here because, you know, she specifically requested. She really loves the Sherlock games, and, you know, it feels wrong, you know, to do the ending without her here. Thank you for the hydration reminder, DJ. So, there's not actually all that many cases overall. There are 3 cases from Mycroft. There are 9 cases that are Cordona Tales. 11 if you count the fact there's 3 stages to one of them. And then there's 5 of the other ones. And then there's the 4 DLC ones. So overall, not a huge number. But I don't know what to do now. I think I'm going to set up a poll. Okay, poll is up for 2 minutes. The 2 options are, you know, what cases are we going to do? Either we do all of them, which is all of the Cordona Tales, all of the Mycroft cases, all of the other cases, and the DLC, or we only do the DLC quests and then come to finish off the main ones. So, yeah. So, yeah. Go ahead and vote for which one you are. So we will be doing the DLC either way. It's just, do you want to see just the DLC ones, then finish this, or do you want me to go and do all of the quests, all the cases? How much is this game? Good question. I will find out for you. Okay, so on Steam, it's... Okay, so on Xbox, it is £40, or 50 if you go for the DLC one. You meant to click all the fucking Twitch live. Okay, so you accidentally voted for only DLC. So basically, both votes are for all of them, right? Okay, on GOG, the deluxe edition is £46.79, so it's probably around about the same on Steam. Yeah, sorry, no problem at all. Thank you for the clarification there, E. So I think, so it depends on your platform, but you're looking at between £40 and £50, depending on the edition. Okay, so even though the poll has ended saying, you know, one vote for each, we are in fact going to go and do all the cases. So what I think I'm going to do, just to make this easier for future, is we are going to go around and we're going to go and get and start every single case. So we're going to start the cases first, just so we have the starting points for all of them, so we can refer to them and do what's needed. Or actually, no, I think I should work on what I've got, and then afterwards, yeah, we'll work on the cases I've got, and then after that, I'll use the guide to get the others if needed. Steam it's £40, but right now it's 45% off, so it's £21.99. Very nice. I would encourage getting the deluxe edition, because the deluxe edition gets you all 4 bits of DLC as well. Okay, so casebook. I have eel hunting, iron coffin. I have 4 Cordona stories. The Tale of the Empty House seems like that case is going and buying furniture. Silver Hand Monument. Okay, let's do this one. So this is going to be what we're doing. The monument to the local pirate king, Kareem of the Silver Hand, rises at the crossing of Alnut Street and Scarlet Street in Old City. So Old Street, Alnut, and Scarlet. City. Old City, Alnut, and Scarlet. Okay, so here's Scarlet. It's a very long one. Alnut. So basically that. Right there. Okay.
Karim of the Silver Hand, the pirate with a golden heart. I told you I remembered him.
Hey Sherlock, I'm up here. Guess what I've found? A riddle, and it's about a treasure. Listen to this.
What? John, you've surpassed yourself.
On top of the monument was carved in the first in a chain of riddles, which John suggests led to the sea to Australia. The first riddle: a hand with treasure, a quest so sweet. Stand where Eris Road and Crooked Street meet. A few steps towards the mosque, left at the first stairs, and find the courtyard of Wishing Well Shares. Eurus Road and Crooked Street.
Come on, Sherry. This is just like the old days. Sherlock and John on a pirate's treasure adventure.
Stand where Eurus and Crooked Street. Yes, that's a map. So Eurus and Crooked is where I'm looking for. I see neither of them there. Most negative reviews saying the game's not worth it for the price because of how short it is. I only see one saying animation is bad. I think it's very worth it. This game is incredibly well worth it. Watson Street. Found Gallifrey Street. Okay, so I've missed it somewhere. Do let me know if you can see it and I've missed it, chat. Doge. Poirot. A lot of these street names are just references. I love it. Animation is bad, isn't it? Such as bad animation. They're not polished. Exactly. But that's the thing. If you look at Frogwares, it's like I've said. I think I said last week. Frogwares are not the best at making games mechanically, which is no bad thing. They're still learning, they're still finding their feet in doing that, because their main focus is on writing a really good story, and that they are experts at doing. Baskerville Street. But yeah, this game is definitely worth it for me. It's so well written. Like the only complaints I've had of this game was the seemingly random thing of trying to find a certain person to talk to while wearing a certain outfit. Come through the switch is not so let me so you got no help here. No worries. Found it! Eurus! Eurus and Crooked, right there! Shaboomy. Hello and welcome. Thank you for your contribution to the 24-hour stream challenge. You're late. I'm kidding. It might be only left half an hour left of the stream, but I never consider people to be late until the only time I would ever consider someone to be late is if they came in literally when I was ending stream. We are, however, at the end of the game. Okay. Making an entrance. Oh, taking up carpentry, are you? Let me know how making that door frame goes. Stand where Euro Street Road and Crooked Street meet, a few steps toward the mosque, left at the first stairs. Okay, there's the mosque. Left at the first stairs, and in the courtyard. Find the courtyard of Wishing Well Shares. There we are. Oh my god! John! If it had pizza pockets. I had pizza pockets for the first time when I went to Florida. They're fucking delicious. Dash. Second riddle. You're almost there, let's not postpone. You're seeking an ark that's made of stone. Head east from the old ruins, my friend. It guards the ancients until the end. Stone ark. East from the old ruins.
So the treasure is real, but tell me, John, how did you even guess there would be something on top of the monument?
Didn't I ever tell you about my psychic abilities? I should have. I even know where we ought to go next.
That's you've eaten food though, Q. So the old ruins. So east of the old ruins. I'm in the old city, so I'm going to say this is where the old ruins are. Blue said beat you to you. No, it's to me, don't you worry. I think Q's too scared of you to make that threat. Maybe the old ruins aren't in Old City. I know I've seen the old ruins somewhere before. I do not know where. Can't remember where. Nice. Not scared. Bullshit. You're almost there, let's propose. Seeking arts made of stone. Head east from old ruins, my friend. It guards the ancients until the end. I think these are the ruins. So go east from the old ruins. Let's just make sure we actually go to what I believe are the old ruins. So that's old ruins there. Go to the east, we're looking for an arch of stone, or an arc of stone. Won't be here. I'm gonna say you can only beat me if you get past the whip. This won't be it, will it? Well, let me get that there. I think I might actually have to Google where the old ruins are, because I do not know at all. Pulling Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones is the one who usually uses the whip. Use a gun. Fun fact, that part of the movie wasn't scripted. Like, it was actually meant to be that there was supposed to be a long and drawn out fight sequence. It's supposed to be really flashy, but Harrison Ford, the actor playing Indy, was so worn out after a day of shooting, and he was so unbearably hot because of the location they were doing so, and he was ill. So he was like, oh fuck it, he pulls the gun out and pulls the trigger. It's like, that wasn't scripted at all, but the guy went with it and was like, yeah, that works. That actually really works. It probably works better than the actual fight scene. It's good, sick. Yeah, it was so funny. It's like, okay. One thing I do want to do, I want to go and have a look at this the newspaper thing to get the
Extra! The strike of the eagle. Authorities are barely containing the unrest after the murder of Mark Ridley by the House of the Eagle.
Oh.
Interested in some Cordona news? Check the front page. You won't regret it.
Missed 2. Consequences. Police stormed Mancio's mansion yesterday, uncovering a depraved soiree and the body of one of Cordona's most beloved beauties, Fabio. In a sickening twist, the young Adonis was found on a basement altar, surrounded by occult inscriptions drawn in his blood. Several attendees of the gala were arrested, and upon further investigation, police determined that the strange circumstances of death were the killer's attempt to hide the truth. A source with knowledge of the situation tells it was manslaughter, and the owner of the house, Mr. Kurt Mancios, had unintentionally killed the drugged actor in an act of self-defense. Were it not for his attempt to hide the crime, he would have walked free. Instead, Mr. Mancios now faces 2 years in jail. Was there going to be another movie, but something very, really horrible happened? All I know is that the 4th Indiana Jones movie bombed so badly that most people claim it never existed. I've never even watched it. I've watched the first chunk of it, and I just went, no, this hurts my head too much. I've been told it's not worth watching the rest. And the sudden death of Mark Ridley, son of General Arthur Ridley, has shaken Cordona. The police already have a suspect under arrest, none other than Ozai from the House of the Eagle, a pillar of the old city community. Tension between the British military and the local population has increased, with already a dozen deaths from multiple clashes on the streets of the old city. Authorities are working to de-escalate the situation, but it's unclear how long they could be able to maintain order. Could this be the end of our island's fragile peace? I remember, yes. Oh, shit. Yes, I don't know where the old ruins are. Play the fuck out of the Indiana Jones Lego games though. Same. Lego Indiana Jones was my first Lego game. Because, I at first avoided them because a lot of those are just for kids. No point in it. And then one day curiosity overtook me as I finished my my day of work at game. And So basically, I went and bought some and played and I got addicted, and I played a load of the Lego games up until they started doing voice acting. I was like, nah, that kind of spoils it for me now. So yeah, I'm gonna have to Google where the old ruins are. Excuse me. Sherlock Chapter 1. Old ruins. I hate the position of the full stop on this. There's going to be another movie that accident death happened that made Ford shake. Oh right, shit, did not know that. The old ruins are shining. Located in southern Old City at the bottom of Eamon's Zahir Moss fast travel location. Check your map, see Crooked Street. You should be facing north by placing yourself in the middle of view for Crooked Street. Well, that's where I just was. At the bottom, it's located in something at the bottom of the... Okay. So yeah, Q. So what you've missed in your time away before you got here is the case that we started last week. We have now finished. We found the murderer. Well, we went into this place to go and see Fabio to find Fabio had been stabbed on an altar. So that was pleasant. We got arrested. with all the other people. We interviewed people left, right, and center. Came up with the verdict, and then went back to the house because we got told, well, we found out that Sherlock's mother was found with her throat slit. And when I went back there, you said, Sherlock remembered that there is a back garden to the house. When we went there, John was standing in front of the door and said, I don't know what's behind there, but I get a feeling like an angry fly buzzing at a window. If you go through here, there is no going back. So I've taken that to mean that's the point of no return. I did a poll to vote on, should we just do the DLC cases, then finish off the main cases, or should I do all of the cases? The vote was unanimous for all of the cases. Can't say, just don't know if it's because it's requested, just because it happened. Could be either. People drinking the police station, yes. And John joined them after I solved the case. So there's the puzzle points. So what does this say? Head east from the old ruins, my friend. It guards the ancients until the end. An ark that's made of stone. Solve everything. Yeah, that does seem to be... That's an ark made of stone. That's east from the old ruins. Guards ancients until the end. That's an arch, not an arc. At least I found what the ancient ruins are, or the old ruins. Solve everything. What is life? A lie. Guards the ancient guardians. $42. CQ is a practitioner. Who is it? Is a no of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I'm impressed. I have to say to that, so long, thanks for all the fish. An ark? You're seeking an ark that's made of stone. Head to the east from the old ruins, my friend. It guards the ancients until the end. You're cultured as fuck. Doubt. As made by God, cheese, fuck knows what they're doing with my bread and that.
Can I ask you a question?
Go back to your fancy house.
He's smoking through his face mask. That guy's got some talent. It's not east enough. This is going east. Arc. I've gone so far from I've gone so far east from the thing. I think I've gone past it.
Salty breeze, old ruins, dusty roads. Do you recall clambering over these walls as a child?
Perhaps. Did we find something at the top?
No, but I just unlocked a new case. At least he's wearing a face mask. This is true. So I'm gonna have to look at that again, because what the fuck? Wait, what? Those aren't the old ruins. The thing that I was looking for was trying to point me towards that. So the old ruins. These are the old ruins, apparently. Right. Wearing a face mask is, you know, something that a lot of people aren't doing these days. You know, they really fucking should. Old ruins. So this is to the east. Is it to the east? No, it's location old ruins. The beach. Wait a second. If that ain't an arc made of stone, then I'm drunk. There we are. The silver hand riddles. Oh, I found it. My bitch face of Kenneth's neighbour is officially gone. What I heard, she got arrested from stealing, and the police found that she was armed with a knife. Oh, well then. Okay. Hades was my friend. It guards the ancients until the end. Really, John? Ah. Movable. The last riddle. With old ruins beneath its feet, find a tree that treasures keep. You may find only one small detail, but that doesn't mean you have failed.
I always admire the way you notice such details.
In such moments, I often recall Mother's voice teaching us of the importance of the smaller details. The world hangs on small hinges, John.
Even the most chaotic miracle becomes sequential when you take a closer look. I remember.
Okay, so let's read that clue again. The last riddle. With old ruins beneath its feet, find a tree that treasures keep. You may find only one small detail, but that doesn't mean you have failed. Old ruins at its feet. Find a tree a treasures keep. I don't think it's talking about these old ruins. Or maybe it's actually those old ruins. Let's go and have a look at those old ruins, because it marks that as a location of the old ruins. Fucking Karen's arms with a knife. That poor manager. This was an in-house Karen. It's kind of worse. Okay. So, with the old ruins at your feet, find a tree and treasure does keep. Well, there's very few trees here. Why do I get the feeling it's not me an actual tree? Really? Would it really be that? No, apparently not. She was or is a K member, yeah. White supremacist. You know, a complete sterling, upstanding member of society. I get the feeling it's here. Okay, I'll cap up. Yeah. With old ruins beneath its feet, find a tree that treasures keep. You may find only one small detail, but that doesn't mean you have failed. With old ruins beneath its feet, find a tree that treasures keep. So that sounds like it's a tree that's rooted in the old ruins that keeps treasures. What kind of tree keeps treasures? As I was married or trying to not be married to her, they said, thank God the bitch is gone. Guess who sets us something because landlord said, why the fuck are you shouting? Would the small detail happen to be those floating rocks? Ding ding, the wicked bitch is gone. Dong, for fuck's sake. Ancient Wojcik. And you criticise my English, Q. Small detail. I don't even know if I'm in the right place, that's the problem. I think I am because there's the old ruins at its base. I'm in the old ruins. What if it's maybe not talking to about an actual tree? What if it's maybe referring to like one of these pillars? Can we go on PC mode and type in shit but still type in Jesus Christ? I mean, I don't know, DJ. I doubt that from when you were on your PC earlier. Shut, you crunkly, crusty, dusty bitch. Shut what? The door isn't open as far as I'm aware. The fact that John hasn't popped up is kind of... Oh, excuse me. Oh. It's kind of concerning. Your legs. Oh, don't know anyone. Don't know anyone who'd make you request you close those me. I rank the arse you call a mouth. Excuse you, I don't have wrinkles. Not that old. I'm gonna have to look at that guide again because this has flummoxed me. And John not popping up is showing that, I feel like I'm not in the right area. So apparently also in this I learned Sherlock can't swim, or is afraid of the water, and he passes out. Really? Flummoxed British. Bollocks to you. You can sod right off. And you can't complain about the British. You use Britishisms in your insults. You know, the amount of times you called me a bastard. That's a Britishism. How is that with the old ruin at its feet? I don't know. Treasure. Stash.
Wait, what? Is this Mother's magnifying glass? How did it end up here? What happened?
Sherry, you really need to learn to let miracles happen. The whole world is one big, unresolved, chaotic miracle.
But they will become sequential if you take a closer look. I do remember what Mother told us, but that explains nothing.
Just let things happen, all right? Besides, this little miracle will look perfect in our manor, don't you think?
It's complete. Which, considering the time, it's actually a very, very good... Mad Road. I've still got some of these. And that is now done. Save. We'll use that one. Save. Statistics. Oh. Cases taken 16. Case closed 9. Cat's portraits formed 11. Accusations 1. Imaginations resolved 11. John's bets 1. 11. Police case solved 0. Completion rank detective. Enemies arrested 40, enemies killed 2. Total arrest attempts 39. Bandit lairs visited 1. Snuff box use count 16. Weak spots hit 20. Environmental objects destroyed 14. 4 out of 19 souvenirs. No out of 22 reports. 8 well my yard for 16. Newspapers report 5. Traitors found 13. Traitors found 0. Yeah. As a person that is not British, shush Q British insults are funny. Piss the fuck off, you bloody wanker. It's one of my favourite ones. Oh, you can just drop the fuck and, piss off, you bloody wanker. Yeah, you're British. So yeah, that is where I'm going to be leaving it for today. Thank you all very much for coming along, for your support. It's all greatly appreciated. Next stream from me depends. If the weather is not a death ray of heat, I will do a special stream at 4 PM BST tomorrow, my usual daytime slot, on a day that I don't usually stream in that slot, where I will be playing Stray, because it came out just today. If it's too hot tomorrow and I don't stream, I will instead play Stray instead of BioShock 2 tomorrow evening. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the weather's like. Doubt on weather. It's getting better. So everything that I've seen has said that tomorrow is going to be back to normal British summertime temperatures. So we're going to be in the realm of between 20 and 24 degrees Celsius, which is still unpleasant, but nowhere near as bad as it has been. So if that counts up, and by around that time, the weather is okay and I'm not suffering in it, then I will do a stream of Stray during the daytime. Excuse me. If not, I will do one. I will replace BioShock 2 with Stray. Basically, tomorrow I will stream Stray at one point or another. So you'll get to see, Kitty in a cyberpunk setting. Goodness, either way. After that, on Thursday at 4 PM BST will be RPG Thursday, going back to Wasteland 3, and hopefully actually doing a bit more progress than previously, because all I really did last time was get to the Ranger HQ and make my full squad and get to where I am. I got to Colorado Springs and talked around a couple of people, so more exploration Colorado Springs and trying to do things there. But yeah, so we're in for a good time. Nothing going on Friday. Saturday is going to be probably the finishing of Nio with Mal, then some Deep Rock Galactic with Maltyr and Pokey, and Sunday will be the usual thing of Maltyr and Pokey and me playing Deep Rock Galactic some more. If things do change, I will let people know. I will also be, in the meantime, working on a voting collection thing to get people's opinions on what games they would like to see on the 24-hour stream when it happens, which is fairly close to being finished now, I think. Let me just double check. Yeah, we're 94% finished. We are 3,530 away, so that will probably get done tomorrow. I'll most likely get done tomorrow, and I will plan out when would be the best time to have it happen. And also plan on what to showcase on there. And all votes for the sort of content that you want to see have been accepted and tallied, so I know what to make a form for, to decide the allocation of time. But until next time, thank you all very much for coming along today and for all your support. It's all greatly appreciated. Special shout outs go to Callie for a 23-month resub. Thank you very much appreciating. Shout out to Asmi Fire for the raid. Thank you very much appreciate that. That was right at the beginning of the stream as well. Completely caught me off guard. And Xenofowl for the follow. Very much appreciated as well. But until then, thank you all again for your support in whatever way you've chosen to show it. It's all greatly appreciated. Until next time, though, have yourself a good rest of your day, a good evening, a good night, a good morning, or a good afternoon. Whatever time is for you. Till then, though, stay safe. I almost said stay safe twice. Stay safe, stay amazing, stay hydrated, and see you later. Bye.